in year 2000, I was studying at Peking University as a, well, of course, as an undergraduate student. And around 2001 and 2000, a lot of changes were taking place. And it was an exciting time to be in Beijing, because if you know about China's LGBTQ history, you probably know that homosexuality was decriminalized in 1997 and was removed from China's mental classification and mental disorder in 2001. And then there was a lot of optimism within Chinese society and China's queer communities that the situation is going to get better for gender sexual minorities. Well, at that time, 20 years ago, and now it seems that situation hasn't got better and it probably has got worse, but that's a different story. So let's stay in 2001. In 2001, once I was walking around the Peking University campus and near 𝗦𝗻𝗸𝗿, which is a kind of bulletin board area, so there is an advertisement, a poster, which says the first Chinese homosexual film festival. So that line immediately captured my attention. At that time, I was still closeted. I knew I was gay, but I didn't dare to come out simply because there was a lot of pressure from society and from family, as it is now in Chinese society. Well, however, I wanted to go to that exhibition, but then going to that film festival, meaning that you'll probably tell everybody around you that I'm gay, look at me, and so on. I went to this queer film festival. So I actually didn't go to the first Beijing Queer Film Festival. So that festival was primarily named a Chinese Homosexual Film Festival, and later it is known as the first Beijing Queer Film Festival. However, during that time on campus, there are a lot of DVD stores, VCD and DVD stores, where you can pick up pirated DVDs and VCDs. And some of the films, including Lanyu, the Stanley Kwan's queer film, happen to be unsold there. Of course, I recognize it's a pirated version. The quality may not be that good, but that's probably enough for most people. That was good enough for me. So that was in 2001. I mentioned this historical, in a way, a kind of personal anecdote, because it is an important time for China's queer history, especially for queer cinema history. So before that, there were several queer films, including the films produced by renowned sixth-generation filmmaker Zhang Yuan, East Palace, West Palace. There was Fish and Elephant, the first lesbian film produced by Li Yu in 2000. However, a festival was named Homosexual Film Festival or Queer Film Festival. This was the first thing in mainland China. And Queer Film Festival, after 20 years, and despite all the difficulties, still went on. And with a festival, it also actually encouraged a lot of queer people to pick up their cameras to make films and to share their films. So I would say 2001 was an important time, not only for China's queer history, but also for the history of queer cinema. So my connection with China's queer cinema probably started then, but at that time, I didn't realize that, and I couldn't see what's the relevance of that festival, of that film, to my future life and research career.